They don't have the same receipts at the end of the month, at the end of the week, at the end of the quarter, because of the rise of consciousness of natural flesh and blood beings that are being natural flesh and blood beings instead of acquiescing under a fake delegation of authority that does not exist. And we take this right back to one of the primal things that was said in this post. And they posted up a picture of Taj, and they said, and they must have commented, and someone must have said, have you ever seen a delegation of authority? Well, guess what? You haven't seen one either, because they don't have it. They don't have it, so they can never produce it. We, and I want to make this clear, have never told anybody at a traffic stop to ask for a delegation of authority, because you must remember, those are simply employees. They don't know jack. They got hired and trained to do whatever they're doing. That is not at the point where you would ask that. And that's why the brother said, what you talk about, I don't know what that is, whether they know or they don't know. But that wouldn't be the point. So you just need to understand what it is. And in enforcing the law, you would understand, read Article 3 that deals with judicial issues and diversity of citizenship. Then you would know. And you would also know why you haven't seen one, because they don't have one to show you, because it doesn't exist for them, because they don't, well, I'm going to say it doesn't exist. They don't have it because they don't have it. But yet, by law, they have to have it in order to tell you what to do, or these are matters of jurisdiction. And jurisdiction is right words. And you have to have the right words, because that's what it is. As Annie said, you got to know what to say. And too many don't know what to say. And they heard, I'm not getting a birth certificate, because the birth certificate, that means you're going to put me up on Wall Street. And some people actually are stupid enough to say that to these people. That's not it. First of all, you're never on Wall Street. You're sitting wherever you are. That's number one. Like, get to reality here. But back to the children, which is what this is about, because this is family. As Annie said, while we're speaking, they're finding ways. They could say anything, and to the sister who asked the question, they could say anything as to why they'll take your child, because their whole plan, although it was coveted, although it wasn't recognized, has been to steal the babies. So they are after women right now, so that they can, because they know, first of all, most women are alone with their babies. They don't have necessarily the mate in the house or around them, you know, they don't have that. So they're attacking the women. That's why we said, women, wake up. Wake up, because you're the ones who bring these, that bring, we're talking about birthright, and who gives birth but you? Birthright to nationality. Who does that but you? So wake up, because they're going to come at you to take the baby before it even gets a chance for you to teach them anything outside of the kindergarten, which is in your womb. That is the first school. So if you don't have the knowledge, it's not passed on. So I didn't really know about the jaundice light, but I can see them using that. They could actually come up with anything that they decide they want to create, and only people, this is the important factor this evening, only people who do not know, who do not study, would fall for whatever reason they come up with. Islam.
And I just want to say something, because these people are saying that there's no such thing as a delegation of authority or order or anything like that, and you may never have seen one, because if you have done your research, you're not dealing with a government. Really, you're dealing with a municipal corporation. They don't even try to hide that they're dealing with a municipal corporation. If you do your research, I'm not going to tell anybody what that is. I mean, I don't know where it is for each of the, actually, every state has their statutes online. Go and look into their statutes for municipal powers. And in the municipal powers, they will tell you exactly what's going on. It's not a court, it's a hearing. It says it right in there. They ain't even trying to hide this stuff. But they know that our people generally do not study. They know that we will listen to somebody else's words and not even research it. They know this about us, all right? And we demonstrate it quite frequently. So they put things in plain sight because they know we ain't going to go research it. We ain't going to do nothing. We ain't going to go find out for ourselves. We're going to go look to our homeboy or our homegirl to go do all the work, and then we're going to go borrow it from them. But we ain't going to do it ourselves. That has been our history. We need to change that. That's been our history. But if you go onto the Supreme Court of the United States website page, they got Article 3, Section 1 and 2 right there. And I have been in a situation in one of these hearing rooms where the hearing officer, because that's what they're called, where the hearing officer has said to me, there's no such thing as a delegation of authority. It doesn't exist. And I said to him, well, then the Constitution in its entirety must be a lie. He didn't say nothing after that because it's right in the Constitution. But if you ain't looking, if you didn't read the Constitution, then you don't know that it's right there. Article 3, Section 1 and 2. It's right there.
Right. That's what makes it sad.
And it's on the Supreme Court of the United States website. So I guess they're a liar too.
Yeah. And a delegate cannot delegate. You know? So like even like or deputize in a sense. It's no different than like this so-called sheriffs. You got these sheriffs, then you got deputy sheriffs. But a deputy sheriff can't necessarily deputize. You get what I'm saying? So, like, even if they got a certain delegation of authority order, it's specific rules on what they can not do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why you asked for it. So, like, she could have said, what's your probable cause? She could have did a lot of things. But she was being what she knew. She was wherever she was with it because of previous experiences that, you know, you can't blame nobody for. She said they stole, you know, some property off of her conveyance, you know, so all of those things add up.
Yeah, and she also represented that. She said it. She says, I'm fed up. So there is the, people get to that state of mind or can get to that state of mind, and I'm not speaking on hers, but I'm speaking on those who do not have a foundation. You don't have that foundation, and these days and time, this vibration, you'll lose your mind. You could, it can happen. And I'm not saying, go ahead, Kujo.
No, I was just going to add that nationality is what grounds you, so you don't fly off the handle.
Right.
Nationality is what gives you a base. Right?
Yeah.
So even though Moors have got arrested, dragged on the floor or whatever, they came out the other end and continued being Moors because you understand that you're under occupation and this is what it is. Because on top of the other stuff that Drew Ali said, he also said that he wants strong men and women. So there's going to be things that you have to endure. And then he told you, be ready before you're made to get ready. And he wasn't talking about some living off the grid or something like that when he's talking about that. He's talking about you better be firm in who you say that you are, because the worst is yet to come. Back then, well, we're living it right now. Think about how this sister's man is a shotgun. Really digest where our people are at right now in their frame of mind with regard to dealing with the people who are violating them. And then obviously, then they abandon the child, right? Use their little whatever, pick them up and whatever. But we want you to make sure that you go to, on YouTube, go to Canaanland Moors and look up the video that we just uploaded. Corin Gaines' son speaking from the hospital bed. And him in that hospital bed, if you ever seen Kirikou, the children's cartoon Kirikou, if you haven't seen it, you better go watch it. So you could understand what's going on right now. It's over for them right now. They're killing you in the street, coming into your house, you renting or whatever like that, talking about shoot you for some parking tickets?
Word.
That's craziness, right?
You better wake the hell up.
Yeah.
Because Youth Man is woke up. Youth Man's in the hospital bed, shot up or whatever, like Tupac or whatever. Yeah, they came in, they shot my mom. I tried to run behind the couch, they shot me, and that's it. 4 years old, 5 years old or whatever, that's his reality.
Right.
You know how desensitized he is from violence and whatever? That his dad, you know what I mean? Because the son is supposed to be there, regardless of what. Just like we're saying at the hospital, standing on guard, regardless of what. Regardless of whether you think she's a baby mom, you think she did whatever, well, doesn't matter. You should be standing on guard. And you weren't there. So her guard was a shotgun.
Yeah.
And he's growing up in that.
Yeah. And
right now he's in the hospital. No, go ahead, more.
No, I was going to say, and put an emphasis on the fact that they said she returned fire. She didn't ignite fire. She returned it, meaning they shot at her first and she shot back. That's what.
Over a parking ticket. That's ridiculous.
You feel what I'm saying? But it was deeper than that, though. This is what I'm saying. Like, she already been violated. They already thieved some of her personal property. So she was on, you know what I mean? I can't speak for her per se, you know, in the broad scale. I'm just looking at it prospectively. You know what I mean? You got all these people talking about, you know, they this, that, and the third, and they about this and that. But, you know, I mean, it's her actions speak for itself. I mean, you know, it says a lot. It says a lot. But those were her choices. Like, nobody that I know, that we know, said, yo, actually do this. You know what I mean? Like, she was at a point where she was like, this is what I'm going to do. And she told them that from the jump. You know what I mean? I don't know. But from my understanding, that's what it is.
Yeah, from her own words, she was really fed up. She was really harassed, right? You know.
So instead of watching what jerky boys are saying and doing and trying to make look like whatever, how about recognize that the sister stood up for the fact that these bastards didn't have a delegation of authority.
Word. And these cowards got the nerve.
That's why she stood up. She stood up because they didn't have any delegation of authority.
Over her or her child, and she said
over her or her child.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to talk about what's that. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stood on it.
And she sanctioned her son, and she told them, you know, I'm not raising my son in no type of way. I'm not lying to him. I can pull up pictures of people like you shooting down continuously people that look like his father and his uncle. Like, that's what she said. So this was real to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was already on that wave, fam. Like, that's what it is. Exactly. So she took a position, which a lot of people just don't have the courage to do. And it just is what it is.